Hello and welcome to another Masters 25 Draft League. This is Old Man Poole. We've opened up a pretty spicy rare here in Niv Mizzet, so I think that's probably just going to be the pick. We do have some other good cards. I do like Sif. Horseshoe Crab was obviously sweet in our last deck, and Presence of God went along well with that. I've been kind of curious to see how good Genju of the Spires is. It feels like it could be pretty solid, although I guess you probably want it as like a top end in sort of an aggressive deck. Does seem kind of cool though. Yeah, I don't think anything else other than Niv Mizzet's really taken the cake here, but happy to see it. Alright, so Niv Mizzet obviously definitely encourages us to play like straight blue-red, because it is double blue and double red. Maybe if we ended up in a really, maybe we could have green as another color, and then with like a bunch of cultivates kind of splash the other directions. But I think that, yeah, blue-red is definitely what we're going to try for. With that in mind, I might just take Counterspell here, which is perfectly serviceable. I don't think Rat Capture is particularly strong, although Fear on a 4/4 is kind of a big deal. There's not really a whole ton of rats that you really want to go and pick up, though. I mean, Relentless Rats I don't think really ends up getting there in this set, so... I have been impressed with Isan's Shade, Ruber's Protector's fine, Arbor Elf. There's a couple of good green cards here, but I think we're just going to take Counterspell and try and stay the course. Wow, Plague Wind. I mean, I guess that's a bajillion mana, but maybe it's just crazy. This feels like something that you'd pick and like just try and build super control. At least that's what I would do. It could take Plague Wind. That's probably just not right, though. Man, there's like nothing for us in this pack, though. It's a bunch of like good black. Maybe we could take like Balduvian Horde. We could also take Cinderstorm, I guess, but neither of those are real exciting. Maybe we could take like Corona's Zealot. I like this card quite a bit, and maybe try and play it in a more defensive shell. Yeah, honestly, nothing here really fits great. And we've already got Niv Mizzet we're trying to do. I don't know, I'm really tempted by Plague Wind, but I think I might just take the Zealot here. Balduvian Horde is powerful, but I think it's actually not necessarily what we want if we're trying to play the longer game with Niv Mizzet. Okay, Sundering Titan's cool, but I don't think it's really something that you're exceptionally excited about in this set either. Great in Cube, one of my favorite cards in Cube, but not fantastic here. I think I'll take Kindle though. This is a nice pickup, pretty reasonable card. And we're going to try not to play Chrono Zealot. Who knows, we may end up having to, but... Alright, here... Still seeing some like reasonable black. Blightning is very good if you're in the aggressive like black-red sort of beatdown strategy, which does seem to be a thing. I'm not sure it's my favorite deck, but it is a deck. Mog Flunkies is pretty bad here. Phantasmal Bear is okay, but probably a sideboard card for us. I could just take Blue Elemental Blast because it's so good as a sideboard option. Or I could take like Loyal Sentry or Noble Templar if we're going to maybe stray into white. I want to play Niv Mizzet though. I'm really going to try and cut this if we can. And even though we didn't see tons of cards over the last couple of packs, it may just be that those packs were a little bit like light on blue-red cards, because we're not really that far into the draft yet. Genju of the Falls. Enchant Island becomes a 3/2 spirit creature with flying until end of turn. Still land. When it dies, you can make it again. This seems pretty good. It is like an excellent late game mana sink. You can just turn extra lands into 3/2s all day long. I think we're going to take it. Nicol Bolas is kind of sweet, but very, very hard to cast. It costs 8 mana. I mean, if it ever deals damage to your opponent, you'll feel super excited, but don't think it's really what we want. Mystic of the Hidden Way wouldn't be bad here, but let's take the Genju. Let's see what this card can do. And I suppose it wouldn't be one of our drafts if we're not just playing like a bajillion ghost ships. I love this card so much, and I'm probably picking it more aggressively than we really should, but I do like me a ghost ship. Portling Outburst would be a reasonable alternative here, although I think it's not particularly close. Okay, Arcane Denial, Prophetic Prism, Balduvian Horde, and Phantasmal Bear. Like I said before, not crazy excited about the Horde. I think this is, if you're playing a more defensive deck, losing a card is more costly. Phantasmal Bear I think is really just a sideboard option. Arcane Denial I don't hate. It's not your best counterspell since it is card disadvantage, but it's not the worst if you have a lot of like very powerful bombs, because it kind of helps you dig through the deck, and it can just answer an important spell from your opponent for cheap. But with all that being said, I'm taking Prophetic Prism. This is a card that I'm frequently pretty happy with. And there's a lot of stuff in this set that I think you'll end up wanting to splash for. Because they could take Genji of the Spires too? It's kind of crazy. We could just be like 18 lands or something, kind of defensive and trying to get value out of these at the end. You do have to enchant islands and mountains specifically. We could maybe just take like Coral Helm Guide. Yeah, I think that Genji of the Spires is worse than Genji of the Falls. I don't think they'll go together incredibly well. Hey man, no respect for this card. This just absolutely annihilates some decks. If they're like reliant on white for their removal, they just die. But I guess I understand why you may wouldn't pick it early too. I'm gonna take white mainline out of this pack. It's still not impossible we end up playing like white-blue Splash Niv Mizzet, and white mainline's more powerful than our other alternatives there. I guess I'll take the Horde. Cinderstorm's a bajillion mana. And I guess I'll take Loyal Sentry too. I think that white is like probably sort of open. Don't think we're ever gonna play flunkies in this deck. Hey, Assembly Worker this late's kind of nice. If we get a couple of self-assemblers, you can really go off pretty nicely with that card. Ooh, a Chroma. So a Chroma is a 6/6 for 8, but it's got flying protection from blue and from white, trample, fire breathing. And it morphs up for 6. I think we just gotta take this. It's like mono rare mythics here, or red mythics. This is best if we can find something like Cloud Shift and just like sneak it back onto the battlefield. But even just morphing it up for 6 is not unreasonable. Yeah, I think we're just gonna take this and not be unhappy. Ooh, wow, there's some green in this pack. Lower scale Quaddle's super powerful, Courser's very solid. I like Croson Tusker, I like Fierce Sympath. Just like the mono green deck. For us, not much, unfortunately. Still don't really like Cinderstorm. I guess Coral Helm Guide's just probably better than Soulbright Familiar most of the time. Guess we'll just take this. These are sideboard cards if we end up getting really run over. Could take white mainline too. Although, with a Chroma in play, I think we really do just need to probably try and stick to red-blue. Even though I think white has been fairly open. Yeah, I guess we're gonna take a second pick Coral Helm Guide. Ugh. The Suvin Shapeshifter, I haven't seen this card. When there's the battlefield or is turn face up, you may choose another creature on the battlefield. If you do, it becomes... oh wait. If you do, until it's turn face down, it becomes a copy of that creature and gains at the beginning of your upkeep. You may turn this card face down. Interesting. So it's a clone, but you can keep swapping it around. I mean, that seems good, right? I guess it doesn't synergize with our legendaries very well. I am a sucker for clones, though. And you can morph it up for 2? I feel like it's hard to not get like a reasonable deal out of this card. I would definitely play Fathom Seer if it comes around. I kind of doubt it will, but let's just take this Sweet Shapeshifter. This card may be worse than it looks to me, but it looks pretty good, so... Alright, we have Myriad Landscape, which is just a nice, like, very solid card here. Just gets you a little bit of value and kind of a, I don't know, like rampant growth on a stick, I guess? Or land with rampant growth attached to it. We do have Shoreline Ranger, which I think might be the other alternative. I like this card quite a bit. This is a good finisher on the top end, although we're probably doing okay on finishers. But more importantly, Island Cycles when you need it to. It's just kind of good at all points in the game. I don't think that Zada, the Hedron Grinder, is really going to do much for us. Kind of take the Landscape. Think we're gonna do that. Just get a little bit of value. Works well with Genju of the Falls. And what do we got here? Man, this is like the 10th Cinderstorm, I swear. Mystic of the Hidden Way is solid. I think I want Shoreline Ranger more, though. Again, our top end is very good. And Mystic is a fine, like, earlier play, but Shoreline Ranger helps us out our land drops, which I think is probably more important. I don't think we're gonna have a problem winning games if we go late enough. Twisted Image, fine sideboard card. I do think we are fighting for the red-blue like cards. We're not seeing tons and tons of stuff in these packs. I guess we'll take Twisted Image though. This potentially can ruin some cards' day, wins you combat, although we don't have a ton of creatures early on to get into combat. But the fact that it always will cantrip makes it pretty okay. don't think we're on board for Hana. Right now we just have Prophetic Prism. Not really worth splashing for. You take Hordling Outburst here, that's fine. Like I said, like, blocks up the ground pretty good, which can be important as we're trying to survive. Brainstorm with Niv-Mizzet is super good, though. It's a little bit interesting. I'm ordinarily not wild about Brainstorm without shuffle effects. Myriad Landscape is 1. It's pretty scary if you have Niv-Mizzet in play, though. I think we'll take Brainstorm. Seems kind of sweet. Fathoms here, fantastic. And we still, I guess, have a chance of getting another one, although I think it's kind of unlikely we see it. Yeah, there's another Fathoms here. I think we're taking that over Mystic once again. I think we just need early plays to stay alive. And Fathoms here is a pretty fine late game card, too. Okay, I think we're hoping not to play Coral Helm Guide. But I think everything else here is making our main deck. And, wow, no respect for lore scales, Quaddle. We could splash this, a Prophetic Prism. It's better when you can play it early, but like, I'm not playing Cinderstorm. Primal Clay seems super unexciting. Man, I don't know if we'd ever even play this card, though. It's so powerful, but I guess maybe the correct pick is just Primal Clay. Just more boring. I guess just probably fairly obviously no one's in blue-green, and just no one else thinks they can really play it either. Goblin War Drums, I think, is one integral part for the, like, red beatdown decks, but really nothing for us here. Guess I'll take Dauntless Catheter. Still not impossible we'd shift into white. We'd have to get, like, some cloud shifts or something, though, to try and sneak a chroma in. Okay, Arcane Denial, I guess over another Coral Helm Guide. We already have a couple if we want them. I think our biggest fault in this deck is really that we are just really pushing for red because we opened 2 really good rare mythics. But red's just super, super not open. Like, we're seeing some good blue stuff come around, but I think red is super overdrafted at the table right now. Mystic of the Hidden Way is coming around. It's definitely not a bad pickup, though. And I guess we got Borrowing 100,000 Arrows, although I don't think that's something we're going to end up playing here. And another one. Were they both foil? I guess just one of them. It's kind of funny, though. Okay, so we're hurting for playables just a little bit going into pack 3, but not doing terribly either. But like a few more like early wall sort of effects, maybe a couple more flyers, and a little bit more removal. Maybe a Sift wouldn't be bad. Alright, what do we got here? Pernicious Deeds, pretty sweet, although not really in our wheelhouse. Man, feels like there's just been tons and tons of good green cards throughout these, like in our first couple of packs. Stang's pretty powerful, Rancor's good, Fierce Empath's good. Curiosity is, I mean... Oh, I guess, is it the wombo with this one? Yeah, whenever we draw, we get to go off. I mean, Curiosity is not really good except for with Niv-Mizzet, and with Niv-Mizzet it's really sweet. So maybe we should just pick it. Although, Ghost Ship might just be a better card for the deck. We did get this Ghost Ship kind of late, so maybe it would come around. I think we just gotta go for it, right? Like, I'm not sure this is actually correct. If I was playing for like a ton of money or something, I think I'd probably take Ghost Ship. But Curiosity with Niv-Mizzet is so cool. Like, I don't know the exact rationale behind playing Curiosity, or like putting Curiosity and Niv-Mizzet specifically into this set, but I would not be surprised at all if having them both in was a big like selling point. Like, they're just so fun when you have them both. Do we want another Fathom Seer here? I suppose. We could just end up being close to mono blue and not play a chroma. That may end up being correct. Niv-Mizzet's kind of hard to cast, but a chroma with triple red is really tough. I mean, red elemental blast is a nice sideboard option. Fathom Seers are really good if we have lots of islands, though, too. Cortisar would be great if we'd end up in white. I think this is one of my favorite cards for blue-white. It's just very potent. There's also Cronus Zealot. Like, there's a lot here. We could just take that and, like, shift. I mean, Myriad Landscape does splash for Niv-Mizzet. Although we have to have 2 red sources. That's kind of a lot. I think I might take the Zealot here, though. This is pretty late and pretty powerful. If we decide we want to be in white instead, and leave poor chroma in the sideboard, we're really happy with it. Yeah, there's another Cortisar. I think I may be gonna make that plunge. This is unfortunate because we're really light on removal if we do this. We do have some pretty good stuff too. And red is just, we've been fighting for red this entire game. Or this entire draft. So Darien, I'm not crazy about, although can be good. I think I might just take Cortazar though if we're already here. Land cycling on its own isn't going to get there for Niv Mizzet. We'd have to find Myriad Landscape. We can also just, if we find one red source and then have Myriad Landscape, we can just trade this for the one, which I guess is okay. I think we want a Cortazar. Man, it feels like I end up in white-blue literally every draft. I really tried, and like, we ended up with so many, like 2 really fantastic rares to open in red, but no one likes white-blue. I don't know why. Okay, there's another Brainstorm, which is kind of cool. Don't think we're playing Zoodic Cavern if we're being as crazy as we're trying to be and playing Niv Mizzet. I really actually would love to find like another Prophetic Prism, honestly. But yeah, I think we're just gonna play Brainstorm here. I guess that Land Cycler would have been nice too for another way to mix up the board with Brainstorms. Maybe we should just pick that over the Hussar and hope to wheel Hussar, since both blue and white have seemed fairly open. I am glad we took Myriad Landscape. I think this option would be basically stone cold impossible, like splashing Niv Mizzet without it. So that's kind of nice. So there's a self-assembler here, which we do have one assembly worker, which means it's probably pretty okay. The Resonator, definitely sweet. I mean, it triggers off Fathom Seer, Cortazar, Prophetic Prism, Curiosity, Chrono Zealot. Is that going too deep? It seems cool. Horseshoe Crab I think is probably a little bit too far gone now, so I guess Self-Assembler is kind of the safe pick. I think I'm gonna take Resonator. It seems sweet. I'm not sure it's good. Maybe Noble Templar would just be a better pickup for us, but we didn't end up with like any Sifts too, which is a little bit unfortunate. There's one Squadron Hawk. We did see another one earlier on, although we've only seen 2 total, so I think somebody's probably snapping them up. We could take the Knight, or we could take Mystic. I don't think Angelic Page is necessarily what we want, although it is not bad. Maybe we'll take another Mystic. I think it's quite a bit better than the Knight, although the argument for the Knight is that we just maybe want a little bit more to shore up a kind of weak matchup against more aggressive decks. And yeah, maybe we're just okay if we get to the top end. Maybe I'll take Knight. I think this is actually probably a sideboard card, but we're doing okay on playables now. Our biggest failing here is we just have very, very few removal spells. Is it Chemister? Exile target, instant or sorcery from your graveyard, sacrifice it, cast any number of cards exiled. Yeah, it seems not real good. Very slow, and if your opponent kills it, it just doesn't do anything. Another Horseshoe Crab coming around. Guess we're just taking Fathoms here. Really not unhappy to play a bajillion of these, although maybe Disenchant's better. We don't have any effects that do Disenchant right now, and having that as sideboard is nice. So yeah, maybe. Having tons of Fathom Seers is a little bit awkward. It's slow, but maybe it would be correct too. Guess Red Elemental Blast. Maybe we sideboard red against blue with this, something like that. Yeah, I think we saw one more Cortazar that might come around. I think it's in our next pack. Aromancer could return Resonator, Prism, if the Prism died. Yeah, it doesn't anything for us. Let's take White Main Line. And okay, Cortazar did come around. Nice. Which really means that we should have taken the Ash Barons before, but well, we actually, I guess, could have gotten there on Squadron Hawk. I guess we'll take it now. You can't even remember how late we saw the other one. We might not even have the chance to wheel it. I'm surprised we saw it back at all. Return Phalanx. Sure. Double Templar. Actually, might make our deck. Yeah, probably will. And stuff here. Or Balduvian Horde, I guess, if we end up shifting into red. It's funny, I feel like accumulated knowledge should be something that could get going, but I've never seen more than one in a draft. I don't know if other people just value it really highly or something, but they just never seem to be there. Okay, I think we're going to cut a Brainstorm. Maybe should just cut both. Again, it's really cool with Niv Mizzet, but I guess we have two shufflers. It does make Brainstorm better. So we have 3 things that shuffle. Cortazar puts stuff on the bottom. Maybe it's good enough. I think we do want 17 lands for sure, even with Myriad Landscape. So I guess we're only really cutting one thing here. We're keeping Curiosity in, even though it's super greedy. Because if we get to combo with Niv at once, it will all be worthwhile. Maybe Genju of the Falls just isn't quite good enough. We can be more aggressively blue than I think a lot of decks can, but Chrona's Zealot requires double white. I think we do really want to be able to flip this up, and Div Mizzet is there, so maybe Genju just doesn't quite make it. Maybe we'd sideboard that in, though, depending on the matchup. Okay, well, I think that the deck is actually pretty sweet. I'm not sure if it's going to be, like, crazy powerful or not, and splashing Div Mizzet's probably insanely greedy. We maybe would even have just a better deck without this and without, like, Curiosity, but it's fun. It's fun. We gotta go for it, right? Let's add in some lands. We need 2 mountains, and recommends 11-3. I'm not sure we're quite that far, maybe like 10-4. We need double white, although we do a Prophetic Prism for the Zealots. Yeah, maybe I like 10-4 though. Islands are really good with our Fathom Seer. Maybe Genju is okay then. Yeah, maybe we'll pull out Arcane Denial and put in Genju. This is kind of slow though. And yeah, maybe we just don't need that inevitability. Alright, I keep going back and forth on this, but let's play Arcane Denial instead. Okay, and add our lands. 10-4-2. And then with a Myriad Landscape to boot. Okay, deck's sweet. I'll see you guys for match 1. Welcome back for match 1. I think we got a perfectly playable hand here. Have Arcane Denial if things go really bad for us. My opponent just got a great play. Cortazar, White Mane Lion, and Shapeshifter. So, seems good. Let's go ahead and keep. Okay, Prophetic Prism is a nice draw. Gives us something to do for sure on turn 2. Opponent played Island as well, so it's possible they're doing some sort of like controlling or crab shenanigans. Brainstorm right off the bat. I'm really not wild about Brainstorm unless you have a way to shuffle. It can kind of smooth draws, but it also feels really bad if you're like, I need some lands, and you Brainstorm and just hit 3 non-lands with no way to shuffle. You're like, well, that did literally nothing for me. White-blue. Oh, and I do apologize to everyone watching that I've literally only played white-blue decks. Like I said, we really tried for blue-red. We really tried. Okay, Angelic Page. We're going to let that go through. Good card, though, for sure. Might mean my opponent's on kind of a, like, flying beatdown, or it might just be they're playing this as a solid card. When you do have it, I think that you're playing it because you're trying to be on the attack, but it can also just be an okay kind of last playable. Alright, so next turn, we can either play Cortazar or like Loyal Sentry plus Lion, or Arcane Denial. Yeah, we're taking 1 here, no problem. We can also play the Shapeshifters face down with Morph on the battlefield. So we want to hit a land drop pretty badly. I kind of want to be able to Brainstorm before playing the Cortazar. What do we not like out of this hand? I guess White Mane Lion's kind of sweet with Loyal Sentry. We could play the Sentry with the intent to block and flash in White Mane Lion. My opponent doesn't do anything that's kind of awkward. That does set up like a potential free kill spell. But I think it's fairly likely if we play the Sentry, my opponent just doesn't attack, and then we missed out on a lot of mana. We could play Brainstorm first, go looking for a land, play Cortazar, pitch something. Shapeshifters isn't absurd right now. I think I like Brainstorming into Hussar. If we miss on lands, I guess this is pretty bad, but we could still just play the Loyal Sentry, which isn't the end of the world. Okay, so we found stuff. Do we just want to put Niv Mizzet on the bottom? We're a ways away from being able to play it, and actually, and if any effect that will let us play him is probably going to be a shuffle anyway. Although if we find red, I guess we get there. think we might still be putting on the back, though. So in this case, this is going to look at the top 3 regardless. Oh wait, this was... Oh yeah, I outplayed myself there. Courtisaur we can't play this turn. So we're going to draw those anyway. I guess Niv Mizzet we could give ourselves another opportunity to look deeper, though. So let's put Niv Mizzet on top, and then Island on top of that. Yeah, that was pretty bad. I was thinking Courtisaur would be great next turn, and then I got ahead of myself. So I'll put him on top, and then Island on top of that. And then play Island, and then play Loyal Sentry. So that was pretty choppy. Courtisaur will still get some value. And honestly, I'm not sure what else we'd do there. We could have played a Morph, although Loyal Sentry seems close to as good. Mishra's Factory. I'm a big fan of Mishra's Factory. A lot of time it's kind of free. Swing in for 1 here. If you've got reasonably, like you're not doing anything crazy with your mana, Mishra's Factory is just something you're pretty excited about. Okay, I don't like the sheer number of flyers going on over there. Island, just as expected. So we could play our Hussar, draw down, we pitch Niv Mizzet a little bit lower. I guess actually maybe playing Shapeshifters is better, because then next turn we could flip it up. It doesn't actually block the Griffin Protector particularly well, because if they ever have a creature, they get to swing past it. You don't actually have a great answer to the Protector, though. I think let's play the Courtisaur and just go digging. Sure. We need to find, like, Ghost Ship probably here, or, like, Shoreline Ranger, something along those lines. Now, there's the Shoreline Ranger. We're a couple lands away from being able to play it. I think we're going to take the Ranger, though, and put the other 2 on the bottom. Alright, and then I guess we're done for the turn after that. We're going to take at least 3 damage this turn from flyers, probably more likely 4. Cloud Blazer. That's pretty absurd. Cloud Blazer is obviously fantastic. One of the best reasons to be in white-blue. Okay, yeah, we'll take 4 in the air. Okay, we did find another land, so we're only 1 off of playing Shoreline Ranger. The play, I guess, now might be Shapeshifter. Flip up Shapeshifter into like Griffin Protector, block Cloud Blazer. Yeah, I guess that seems best. With like White Mane Lion backup. We could probably sneak in for 1 free point of damage with the Courtisaur, since I imagine my opponent wouldn't block for fear of a trick, but I'm not going to push it either. We might want to be able to use the White Mane Lion to bounce the Hussar at some point, so... But I kind of like being able to turn this into a flyer and get in an ambush, which seems likely. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason not to swing with them all. Okay, let's turn this face up and have it become Griffin Protector. And actually, I might block the page here over Cloud Blazer, since we get rid of this more permanently. Like, if we kill off the Cloud Blazer, but then the Angelic Page can just keep bumping up the Griffin Protector, whereas this keeps the Cloud Blazer at bay in the future. So this means 1 more point of damage now, but I think it actually will get us, will be better for us in the long run. Ambush complete. Cool. Opponent didn't have a trick or anything there, so we're looking okay. Now we really would just want to find a land so that Shoreline Ranger can come into play. Not going to turn this face down. No. Okay, didn't find a land, unfortunately. We can... what? Keep up Arcane Denial and White Mane Lion and just play like Krona's Zealot face down. I guess that's probably best. And then potentially this gets to flip up at a later time and be a pretty good play. Not going to swing with our Griffin. We just really want to hold my opponent at bay. Looking at the way this game has progressed, I'm definitely happier to have the Arcane Denial than Genju of the Falls. So, I mean, it's only 1 game sample size, but I think that Genju is just not actually ever going to quite be good enough. Okay, another morph. Wonder if we should have countered that, actually. Well, it's hard knowing when to use the Arcane Denial. Opponent block or swing with the Cathar. Definitely want to block that. So block, play like White Mane Lion, bounce maybe? So we could like play the White Mane Lion, block the Cathar, bounce, and then block with Griffin Protector. Yeah, that seems okay actually. Yeah, okay. So this saves us a little bit of damage because the Griffin Protector can now block and trades the White Mane Lion for the Cathar. Zealot doesn't seem fantastic in this matchup, since it seems likely that my opponent's just not... Like, their plan is to win on in the air, not on the ground. And Zealot's really that's best when it's taking hits for you on the ground. Okay, so White Mane Lion enters. We're gonna bounce Cortazar. Griffin Protector gets a little bit bigger. Okay, my opponent does not have a follow-up. Land? Not gonna turn this face down. Still just don't have the mana to really play around with this, I don't think. Another Zealot. I guess we're playing Cortazar, trying to find a land this time around. Maybe we should have bounced the White Mane Lion before. The Ghost Ship's kind of nice. I think we just want the land, because we want Shoreline Ranger. Ghost Ship is good, though. I think we want the Shoreline Ranger more. It's a little bit hard to pick between the two, but Island lets us play something else now this turn, too, which is nice. But yeah, if we kept the White Mane Lion in hand, we could always make this a good blocker. We could have even, like, not played this as a morph. Might have been a little bit interesting. And then tried to snipe my opponent's Protector. It might have been better. Okay, let's play a Dauntless Cathar. Don't have Arcane Denial up here. I think that's okay. Maybe we should have swung with our Zealot first. Because actually, if my opponent had, like, flipped up, we could have flipped up and gotten a blowout to kill their Protector or something. I really did want to find a land drop there, though, too. Alright, opponent flipping out Mystic of the Hidden Way, which is a problem. Just another evasive threat that we can't deal with super effectively. We could be taking 6 damage here pretty easily. Okay, Ghost Ship. Yeah, I don't know. It's looking grim. And another morph. Okay. So that's 7 damage. We have to find an answer to the Mystic. My opponent's not going to block our morph, unfortunately. Does that mean that we should chump block? Yeah, because we can't chump block next turn, I guess. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Although, we go down to 7. So we're not just dead, although if this dies, then we can't block the Ghost Ships. We're dead anyway. I guess we're just taking it. Yeah, I think we're dead, though. I find very few things that we could really save us. Let's see. No, I don't think we'd afford to. Even though flipping it for a Ghost Ship would be better. I think that's just gonna do it. We swing with our morph. If my opponent blocks with their morph, I guess we maybe could get them. It would have to be at least 2 damage onto it. But I guess no point in not trying, right? Let's see. Yeah. Although, here they still have a lot of attackers. Yeah, opponent just doesn't block. We play Shoreline Ranger and we're just dead. So I guess, like, morph something and looks... Well, no, because then my opponent gets to see it at the end of turn. I guess let's just pass. And look all suspicious. My opponent may outthink themselves. Looks like they're just going for the kill, though, which is absolutely correct. We don't have a way to interact. Yeah. Alright. GG. Well, I think we got kind of just steadily destroyed there. Okay, will 2 Willbenders is nice to know. Okay. 2 Willbenders. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to kill his flyers too. I think Chrona's Zealot actually didn't look fantastic. My opponent's just not trying to win on that axis. We could switch to red. That's a lot of the power from our white. And if we switch to red, then Niv-Mizzet becomes much easier to cast. And then we can bring in things like Kindle, Red Elemental Blast, which are good and powerful, as well as a Chroma, which is obvious upside. My opponent may have a really tough time interacting with the Chroma since they're playing blue-white. That might just be like a card that just wins the game straight up. Okay, so let's pull our lands out real fast and see what we need to bring in. So you still need another 3 playables. It's not great. I guess bring in Genju, like Primal Clay. Borrowing 100,000 arrows maybe would be okay. Coral Helm Guide. Maybe just 1 guide's not terrible. I think this is better. This does dramatically increase the odds of us playing a Chroma. Well, I guess since we're actually going to have a Chroma in the deck, makes it more likely to play Niv-Mizzet. We're definitely a little bit on the light side, but could just play Assembly Worker instead of Genju. Let's add in like 4 mountains. Maybe 3 and 1. Alright, yeah, maybe let's do this. Okay, let's see if our blue-red fares a little bit better. Not often you can switch colors completely in a draft, but we're pulling it off. Yeah, I would like to play first. And I think we got to keep here. That's good. Play this. We'll do Prophetic Prism turn 2, then Mystic after that. Or the Shapeshifter, I guess. Either way, won't be super unhappy. And we have Myriad Landscape that will actually find our last 2 mountains, which is nice. Phantasmal Bear. Ooh, alright. Well, that's aggressive. Huh. Maybe we sideboarded incorrectly, or we took out a lot of our ground defenses. Curiosity. Good with the Mystic. Although, less good if we just get killed here, which may well happen. Okay, no follow-up's nice. I guess we should have started with Myriad Landscape, shouldn't we have? Because that enters tapped. Forgot about that. Let's cast our Mystic of the Hidden Way face down. Probably should still just take a couple points from Phantasmal Bear. I mean, we do have like Cortisar still, we have Fathom Seer, we have some reasonable blockers. But then next turn we can play Curiosity and get in. The fact that my opponent didn't have a 2-drop means that we're not, like, dying. Wonder if this was a sideboard card from them. They looked at us and said, like, oh, they're trying to beat us on the ground. Not impossible. So, playing Curiosity into Open Man is a little bit scary. The upside's fairly high, but if they do have a kill spell, it just destroys us. I think we're going for it. Refraction Helix doesn't do it. If they have counter magic, I'm fine with that. Okay, let's go ahead and swing. Okay, it looks like they don't have anything, which is great. We get to draw a card, and we're just gonna put the Shapeshifters face down here. Okay, Twisted Image. We can use that to kill the Phantasmal Bear, but I think we'll probably just do that next turn. We can also turn this into another Mystic, which was kind of sweet. Okay, exclude. Fair enough. I guess that would be another reason to keep that up. But we do know that they probably don't have an answer for the Mystic, which is pretty good. Although it's true, we can use this to kill the Phantasmal Bear, but then we don't draw a card. It's kind of funny. Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? Because this will sacrifice in response. Okay, Kindle's not bad. I think we flip this face up here. get in for a couple of points. See, I kind of like not unmorphing that the previous turn, since it's just... Like, my opponent left the Phantasmal Bear back there in the intent to block Curiosity. He didn't know it was going to be unblockable. Draw a card. Yes, we would like to use the ability. Okay, Hussar's pretty good. I think I'm just going to Kindle the Morph right now, main phase. It might be a Willbender. I think that's probably his most likely morph here. But on the off chance it is something more dangerous, like a Mystic, we're happy to have it off the battlefield. And my opponent's in dire straits unless they find a way to answer the Mystic here. Another morph. Not doing it just yet. Wait, is Willbender 1 blue to flip up? That's 1 blue. Yeah, okay, that was safe. It would have been bad if that had been like kindled back onto our Mystic, but... Ooh, a Chroma. So this turn we play Cortisar into Chroma, and we actually just have the mountains to morph it up even without the Myriad Landscape, which was probably more fortunate than we really deserved to be. This Curiosity has been MVP this game, though. Drawn us a host of cards and been a pretty good, like, just Ancestral Recall, really. Let's play Cortisar. Okay, I was trying to bait a counterspell if there was a counterspell there, since we really don't want a Chroma to get got. Cortisar, I guess, is much worse if we don't have blue, but... Or sorry, we don't have planes in the deck. Ooh, man, this is some good stuff. Red Elemental Blast. Also named Mizzet. I think we're just gonna take the Elemental Blast, honestly. Since this just removes anything in a Chroma's way. And my opponent just, I don't think is gonna have any answer for this. Rest in peace, Mrs. or Mr. Hussar. That's true. If we do try and play red, that's maybe something we need to pitch out. We could have Prophetic Prismed, but I guess it's... No, it is white. Yeah, that's true. That was just a straight misplay. That's okay. A lot of different things go on in these sets. But yeah, we could have Prophetic Prism to keep it alive. For basically free. Accumulated Knowledge. Just draw a card. And now if they don't kill the Morph this turn, if they do find a removal spell, they have a lot of incentive to try and kill the Mystic. But then this will just be a 6/6, basically protection from my opponent's deck. We're most definitely not blocking. Okay. Let's go ahead and swing with both of these. Actually, do we want to unmorph first and just hit my opponent for a billion? We're pretty confident there's nothing my opponent can do about this, right? Pretty confident. Not sure which direction these are, but yeah, they're very dead. 2 Willbenders. See, yeah, it's 1 or 2. Okay. Yeah, Chroma is pretty gnarly for my opponent. We would like to use the ability. And I guess there's... No, we can't keep up Red Elemental Blast because of the Prism. So we should play the Plains. And it looks like our misplay not keeping the Cortisar up is probably not going to matter this game. Because if they have a white removal spell for the Mystic, nah, they can't even buy them a turn. We'll take 2 here. And just plan countering anything that seems powerful. Nerfing. And now we have 2 counter spells. And a lot of lethal attacks. Alright, Chroma did good here. I mean, I guess this is probably like the best deck for it, but still. My opponent... I actually may have been... Wait, did they just cast it? Why didn't they cycle? I guess just an easy misplay. Because we actually couldn't have interacted if they had just cycled it, since it's a triggered ability. But... And I would assume they'd want to draw the card, so I think that was probably just a misclick. Okay, cool, got there. Alright, do we change anything else? I still think I like a Chroma, since it is probably close to an auto win against what my opponent's doing. Resonator still seems kind of slow. It is powerful, though. The Phantasmal Bear scared me a little bit that game, but I don't think it scared me enough to change our game plan here. Alright, let's submit. Okay, I think we got a keepable hand here. A little bit light on, like, it's a little bit rocky. We don't really want to Chroma this early. And we just kind of would prefer a couple more lands, but I don't think it's terrible. Are we brainstorming here? Probably not. Okay, Angelic Page. A dangerous start. It's a good one for my opponent for sure. I think we're going to play Fathom Seer just as a Fathom Seer here. Just a 1/3. We may actually enchant it with Curiosity. And just try and cantrip this. Let's see what my opponent's follow-up is. Hopefully not more good flyers. Probably just a morph, although you never know. No play. So they could be keeping up Exclude again. Could play Curiosity and just get in for a point. I don't think my opponent's got anything that burns us for that. In fact, they seemed very ill-equipped to answer Curiosity in general. The problem with equipping it to the Fathom Seer is it's just... like, it's not likely to hit very many times. I definitely don't want to play a Chroma down. We could just accept the potential 2-for-1 and play the Fathom Seer into it. I think my opponent's probably got Exclude, though. Let's play Curiosity. I think I'm just going to cycle this. Should have played another island there first. Attack. And draw a card. And we'll play Resonator, because I think they've got Exclude, so this actually probably will avoid Counterspell. So now my opponent definitely really does need to play a blocker for Fathom Seer, although I imagine they'll have something. But that does mean that we can play some spells underneath. Oh, okay, Retraction Helix. Pretty safe answer. That's not terrible for me, though, because Curiosity did cantrip. And that was their whole turn, so... that was an answer, but not a particularly, great one either. Alright, so we've got... maybe we brainstorm Cortazar here? Maybe get rid of some cards. We also could just, play Fathom Seer, but I think this is actually a good time to try and get value off our brainstorm. Okay. We want our mountain next turn. I don't actually love another Cortazar, although I do like Ghost Ship. So let's put this on top, and a Fathom Seer on top. Play the Hussar without the trigger from the Resonator. Unfortunate. That's okay. Ooh. Oh, that's true, they have Exclude. We played around that whole last turn. That's alright. That's okay. My opponent got some value. I was clever and then completely forgot that I was supposed to be clever. On the other hand, getting it out of my opponent's hand so we can land Ghost Ships may be good. And the game is going slowly, which is good for us. The longer, slower we go, the better chance that Chroma just gets to take over. Okay, Ghost Ship of their own. Hey, Fathom Seer, I remember you. Let's play a Ghost Ship. And we do have to be a little bit careful. We're down to 6 minutes. I've taken my time thinking about these games, but I think we'll be able to finish in that time frame. So I did show my opponent the Red Elemental Blast last game, so they have to be aware that that's a possibility. though I don't actually have it in hand. Interesting. Okay, opponent doesn't really look like they've got anything better to do than just cycle the tethers. Which, I mean, is fine. They traded, in effect, 2 lands for 3 damage, or 2 mana for 3 damage. There are definitely worse deals there. And now we got another Hussar. We can use the Resonator this turn, though. I guess we probably will. Try and find a land drop. And dig pretty deep into our deck, too, for what that's worth. And we're going to copy that trigger, not the other one. I'm not sure this card's particularly good, too, but it is sweet. Alright, Kindle, Prophetic Prism, and Island. Don't hate Kindle because it kills off the page. Kind of want to make sure we hit lands, though. And actually, Island's not bad with all the Fathom Seers. Prism would have been reasonable there, too, I think, because we want to be able to cast a Chroma. Okay, we're just going to take Arcane Denial this time, I guess. Or we still just want lands. Hitting land drops consistently is not bad. I think Denial might be better, though. Any order? So yeah, if we had done the first Arcane Denial and 2 islands first, I think I'd probably taken something else there, but we didn't know about in advance, so I think taking the island was good. I really wanted to guarantee we'd hit a land drop that turn. So they're not in a great position to attack, because we can just snipe the page. Like I said, my opponent has seemed to have very few actual true removal spells. No play. Alright. So this turn, let's morph a Fathom Seer. One counters it, it's fine. And I think we're going to morph in, maybe the Shapeshifter this time. No, we're going to morph another Fathom Sphere. I want to get a Chroma up, but I really don't want to get countered, so. Okay, and just sit pretty over here. I'm just going under the assumption that if a Chroma ever hits the battlefield, we probably win, so playing very carefully with it as our trump card. So let's see, we've got 8 mana. I think I'm just going to turn this creature face up. So I guess tap a couple of blue sources and return them. Then replay, draw some cards. Cast this face down. Cast this face down. And then keep up Arcane Denial. No good attacks. Now we just have to find one last red source. So we did put the Prophetic Prism on the bottom. We do have a couple more mountains. Maybe you should have countered that. Twisted Image. Can't quite flip this up. Maybe swing with our... No, what do we do? Play Coral Helm Guide. Play Genju of the Falls. Keep up Twisted Image. And pass. Although we should have kept up Ghost Ship there too. A little bit of a misplay. Trying to play a little bit fast because I don't want to wait too long. And we're basically just saving this Arcane Denial to save that Chroma. Oops. My opponent just tapped a bunch of mana there for no good reason. Oh, for the Mystic. Oh yeah, that's a problem. Alright. Let's cycle our Twisted Image. Yeah, maybe we should have... Well, we didn't know what it was, though. Arcane Denialing was maybe not fantastic. Okay, Mountain's great. Okay, we take 3. End step. Play a Mountain. Unmorph a Chroma. Still have Arcane Denial available. I think we played a little bit sloppy here at the end of the game, but largely because I'm just trying to make sure we don't run out of time either. But finding that mountain off the top was perfect. And we can keep up Arcane Denial pretty much indefinitely, just if there's anything really terrible that my opponent plays, they've got like a board wipe or something, we do have an answer. It's funny, I wonder if Arcane Denial, because it's always going to be like a 3 for 2 or something against you, I wonder if I actually play it better. Like I play it more the way I should regular counterspells, because I often hold it for absolutely must-answer threats, because I don't want to give up the advantage unless we really have to. But maybe I shouldn't be quite as cavalier with counterspells in general. I think we're just in the position where my opponent just can't beat this. Just like they're attacking. So we'll block like that, and just try and maintain our life total as much as we can. Okay, swing with the Chroma again. Take my opponent down to 7. Play our Primal Clay. It's just as a flyer here, I think. No, not a creature. Yes, a flyer. Play an island. And cast our Mystic face down. Yeah, I feel like Genji of the Fall just has not done anything, pretty much ever. And now my opponent has to have an answer to a Chroma this turn, which I think they can't have, especially through Arcane Denial. And that should be it. Kind of nice having a card that just literally says trump opponent's deck. But on the other hand, I suppose we had the wherewithal to sideboard it in and say, hey, we actually really do want to be playing red against this deck, just because a Chroma is so good. Disenchant. Okay, that's fine. Rest in peace, Genji of the Falls. I guess you ate a disenchant. This card doesn't seem good. I don't know, if you're in a super grindy deck, I guess maybe it's inevitability, but I think like 99 times out of 100 is just not going to be great. 99 out of 100 might have been a little bit exaggerating there, but often it will not be great. Alright, a Chroma. Take my opponent down to 0. Perfect. Alright, happy to pick up match 1. I think that our blue-red probably is still worse than our blue-white against most decks. Like, Chroma Zealot is very, very good if we're playing against any ground-pounding deck. It just happened that a Chroma Angel of Fury was, like, the ultimate trump card in this case. But I don't think that's always going to be the case. So, yeah. I think I'm still going to stick with the white-blue, but it's cool to pick up a game with the blue-red version. See you guys for match 2 in a second. Welcome back to match 2. We've got kind of an unexciting hand here. My opponent is going first. I think we're going to keep it. We're kind of a long ways off casting Niv Mizzet, so it's kind of a 6-card hand. Although if we do ever get to cast him, I mean it is more than that. Okay, opponent starting off with Island. But as it stands right now, like, multiple Fathom Seers and a Shapeshifter is fine, but not crazy. Well, Myriad Landscape's actually pretty good. That was maybe, well, it was definitely up there in one of the best ways we could draw. Blue-black, okay. This really can bend either way. I've seen some very aggressive blue-black decks and some very controlling ones. Okay, looks like it's a little bit more on the aggressive side, which means Fathom Seer actually will be pretty okay here. Yeah, Return Phalanx I think tends to be kind of the, like, calling card of the aggressive blue-black decks, but Phantasmal Bears and just, like, the 2/2 Vampire for 1. There's a bunch of things that can get it going, for sure. Let's just cast a Fathom Seer right side up here. Yeah, but this game we're definitely going to be hoping to resolve a Niv Mizzet. Okay, Dusk Legion Zealot. Pretty reasonable. It's nice that my opponent doesn't have a way to just punch through the Fathom Seer immediately. Looks like they may have been looking for land there. Opponent had kind of an awkward draw, since they would have liked to have played the Bear turn 1 and Zealot turn 2, but looks like it didn't just quite work out that way. So we could cast our Shapeshifter here, or we could just crack Myriad Landscape and ramp ourselves. I think I might just ramp ourselves. Yeah, let's just pass. Kind of kept looking for this to be like sorcery speed, but I don't think it is, so. This is the first time I've ever cracked a Myriad Landscape. It seems super cool, but this lets us leave up Arcane Denial if things go terribly, terribly wrong for us. No attacks. Ghost Ship. Interesting. So it looks like my opponent is playing, I don't know, maybe just like blue-black control with Phantasmal Bear? Don't think I love that, but yeah, both mountains. Yeah, this card's pretty cool. Free ramp spell, great fixing for Devil Mana. Okay, so this turn we can cast another Fathom Seer. We can cast Shapeshifter. I guess probably want to do just one of our morphs, leave up Arcane Denial. And I guess if we're casting one of our morphs, we're maybe casting Shapeshifter. Because having that in play with Niv Mizzet in the future might be kind of nice. In a perfect world, we could cast Niv Mizzet with 2 mana up and have the Shapeshifter available. I guess let's morph this though. Cast this face down and maybe just turn into a ghost ship. If Niv Mizzet does die here, we still have Mystic of the Hidden Way to potentially try and get in. Haha, my secret clone. No one expects the secret clone. It is a rare, so I think it's pretty fair to not expect it. Okay, no removal spell on the ghost ship. It might mean they don't have one. Not gonna turn this face down. Another counter spell. We could just cast Mystic and Sandbag for a couple turns. I think getting Niv Mizzet out there is best, though. If they have a way to kill it, it's awkward, but then Mystic should be able to land as well. Yeah. This is going into counter magic, maybe? Nothing. Little does my opponent know that we're actually playing a predominantly white deck. Well, predominantly, secondarily white. We are blue-white, splashing for Niv Mizzet. No murder, please, no murder. They didn't kill off the ghost ship, which I think would have been tempting last turn. Although they may just be more defensive than I was giving them credit for, too. I don't like playing Phantasmal Bear in just like a random deck, but they might be. Like Ghost Ship definitely leans more defensive. Although it's a good card, I think, in pretty much any deck. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, the fact they didn't just snap removal meant that it looked like they didn't have anything, but... Okay. Not gonna turn that face down. No. Okay, and I guess we're gonna kill the Phantasmal Bear. And this turn, I guess we swing with Niv Mizzet. They have something that flips up for flying, probably not. And... well, no, I guess we just draw a card. We just, like, ping something, draw a card. That's the real victory here. So we can play Mystic of the Hidden Way for 3. And then... or I guess we haven't played a land yet, so we could Fathom Seer for 2 and then turn it face up. Yeah, maybe that's best. And then replay a land. Draw a couple more cards. We are going to have a lot of cards. And start killing stuff. So, what should we be more afraid of? The morph from earlier, the morph from late. I guess the morph from late. We're going to try and kill this. No guarantee this works. Because they could potentially flip it up, but... okay, Dragon's Eye Sentry, revealing Shoreline Ranger. Sure. I'd probably be a little bit surprised to see the Plains and the Noble Centaur or Noble Templar in there, but... We do have 2 counter spells now. I'm not sure there's a whole lot that my opponent can do to try and sneak back into this game. And I guess maybe we're just swing with Niv Mizzet at this point. Take my opponent down to 15. We don't draw a card, but we're overdrawing as it is right now. And I want to be able to keep up counter magic, I think. Sure, let's swing with Niv Mizzet. Using a clunky 4/4. just fly in and swing. It may be more correct to just draw a card there, but I don't hate just attacking. We do have to kill my opponent at some point, and Niv Mizzet's one of our better, like, attacking creatures. But now we should have counter magic for Niv to keep Niv Mizzet alive pretty much indefinitely. They know we have counter spells. Yeah. Maybe can't do anything other than just play into them, though. Alright, and we're not doing anything end of turn. Not going to flip this card down. Okay, another ghost ship's nice. I'm not really sure what we're killing here. Zealot, I feel like, just doesn't do, like, next to anything. We could try and kill his morph. That's maybe good. And tap this turn. Yeah. So deal 1, then draw a card and kill it. Unless it's another Dragon's Eye Savant, I guess. Twisted Image might make killing the ghost ship a little bit easier. Oh, Willbender. Okay. Perfectly fine. I guess we're playing Mystic here with the intent to flip it up, but still keeping up Arcane Denial. Yeah, the death from Niv Mizzet is really like a death from 1,000 cuts, because it doesn't give an immediate, like, massive advantage, but the fact that we just get to keep drawing extra cards and paying creatures means things go poorly for my opponent fairly quickly. Like, I think we're a massive favorite to win this game, but it's kind of hard for my opponent to say, hey, I'm just done playing this too. Zombify on the Shoreline Ranger. Counter that, it does 2 for 1. Shoreline Ranger kind of stops the offensive, although kind of not too, because Mystic can keep getting in. Yeah, I think we're just going to allow that, actually. Turn our morph face up. I want to keep this as a failsafe for something really bad that my opponent could have. Okay, Disfigure. It's a little bit unfortunate. Yeah, then my opponent playing Shoreline Ranger is a little bit better. No, we're not going to. I could change it into Shoreline Ranger, but I think we actually like the Ghost Ship's 3 effect anyway. So. And we're going to use this, I guess, to what? Maybe we shoot the Shoreline Ranger, and then use Twisted Image to twist or flip the Shoreline Ranger around, draw a card, and then shoot the Shoreline Ranger again. Okay, I think that's the line. And then tap. Kill the Shoreline Ranger. Draw basically a million cards. Play another Ghost Ship. And still keep up Arcane Denial. Alright, and we're grinding my opponent down. Again, Niv Mizzet's a slow killer. Next turn we can swing with Niv and both Ghost Ships. Not gonna do that. Guess we'll kill off the Zealot. Maybe that's incorrect, killing literally everything, since my opponent has, like, Living End. That's maybe one of the few things that could get them out of this. Attack with everything. One takes 5 here. Yep. We're going to play Noble Templar. And still keep up Arcane Denial. We could... Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Noble Templar is better than the Morph Chrono Zealot. Yeah, no play for my opponent. Still not doing this. No. Shoot my opponent. Play Prophetic Prism. And shoot my opponent again. Actually, now with Brainstorm, we can try and kill the Ghost Ship. So this would tap it down. So then we go for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think that's lethal then. Cast Brainstorm. Put a couple of lands back on top. And my opponent needs to regenerate this now, so I think that's lethal. Because it should tap when it regenerates. And we also actually have the lethal kill with Niv Mizzet, but I don't think it's necessary here. Like, we have the Curiosity, go infinite, make my opponent take a bajillion damage. Okay, cool. Like I said, I think that game was over considerably before it looked like it was going to be, but... like, Niv Mizzet just takes over if they can't kill it. So we could bring in red. My opponent is playing blue, has a lot of their defensive cards, especially in the air, so a Chroma might be pretty good. We didn't see any removal spells. How much are we happy with our white? It looks like their plan is to win in the air again, so Chrono Zealot looks a little bit worse. I think I'm going to shift back to red. The fact that a Chroma once in a while just does completely run over a game is pretty big upside. This also lets us play Red Elemental Blast, which is pretty powerful. The big disadvantage that we kind of have to play some not real exciting cards from the blue side. I'm not sure I'm even going to bring in Genju. It just feels bad. I'm not sure it pairs up as a 3-2 very well against a lot of the flyers in the format, too. Nah, I think we're just going to play a couple of Coral Helm Guides. These guys potentially could provide some inevitability in the late game as well. Okay, let's add our lands back in. This is nice. It makes our mana a little bit more consistent, which is pretty solid. Bring in 5 mountains means that we can play a Chroma, I think, a reasonable amount of the time. This also does add in 1 more plains. I think that the overall quality of the deck goes down a little bit, but Red Elemental Blast and a Chroma are very good if you're playing against cards that are blue or white, respectively. So, I think this is okay. Let's submit. And we've got a reasonable, if not fantastic, hand. My opponent is playing first. I think we're going to keep... We need to find lands fairly aggressively, but Shoreline Ranger can turn itself into an island if we need it to. Well, there's a Chroma. So that is a powerful card eventually. Play Island first here. I don't think there's anything we Twisted Image, but maybe if they played like their 0/6 wall on 2, we'd consider it. Looks like no play. Seems reasonable. Okay, yeah, so here... I think I'm just going to cycle Shoreline Ranger end of turn. My opponent may have counter magic, although I guess if we play the Coral Helm Guide, I really don't care if they counter it. So maybe that's okay. We can Island Cycle next turn to make sure we hit a land drop. If we find a land, though, this is a little bit more efficient anyway. Brainstorming in response. And Coral Helm Guide resolves, and we're just going to pass it back to my opponent. If they tap out, we would maybe go for Curiosity. Obviously, Shoreline Rangering first if we don't find a land. Orf. Okay. So we're just going to offer to trade this here, I think. Land? Not a land. Okay. Let's go ahead and move to attacks. I think it's very possible my opponent won't want to block here, but if they do, I'm perfectly fine with it. Yeah. Okay, they did have the Savants. It's a little bit interesting they didn't morph something up. They just really wanted to trade away the Coral Helm Guide, I guess. Let's cycle our Shoreline Ranger, find an island, play the island, and call it a turn. So next turn we can Cortazar, and that will help us find another land. I think we're going to Twisted Image actually now, though. And just cantrip. Because playing our own Ghost Ship next turn would be better. And if Mizzet's good eventually. Land? 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 Nice. Now let's play Ghost Ship. And then these will just kind of be staring each other down. But again, as the game goes along, it gives us more time to resolve Niv-Mizzet or Akroma, and I think that those are going to be pretty tough for our opponent. Pathetic Prism. Helping my opponent finally find black, although I guess they found a swamp there as well. And a morph. So this turn, what's the plan? I guess the most mana efficient play is Primal Clay, although it's kind of unexciting in every way too. We could just play Cortazar, maybe try and find something better. I think I'll do that. I don't think that the 1/3 body is likely to be hugely important. And I'm actually going to leave or tap down the mountain here, because if we find Counterspell, I'd rather have that up than Kindle. If we find Kindle. Myriad Landscape's pretty good. Mystic would be powerful too, but I think I'm just going to take the Landscape because we want to fix our lands. And set it for Akroma. Definitely wouldn't have hated picking up the Mystic there though either. Alright, rest in peace, Cortazar. You did good work. My opponent swings with a Morph. I guess we're just on the not blocking plan. There is the Cutter, Assassin, Black, Death Touchy creature. So bad with the card names. You guys really have to forgive me. Looks like they're not going to try, though. Murder of Crows. Okay. Murder of Crows is good. Will eventually pale in comparison to Akroma, but it's pretty good. Ooh, so this is kind of interesting. So this turn we could crack Landscape and play Akroma Morphed, with the knowledge that we're going to be able to flip it up next turn. Or we can play Niv-Mizzet, which is kind of just okay. We do have the Curiosity kill with Niv-Mizzet, although that would be next turn. So I think let's play Akroma, crack Myriad Landscape, and then we have a couple of different ways we can try and go off and kill my opponent. Alright, and we'll pass. We'll take 4 from the Murder of Crows, pretty much no matter what. Okay, and Mystic getting in. This is a very real clock. Niv-Mizzet hopefully will be enough with Curiosity. But that's 3 turns and we're dead. So alright, let's crack Myriad Landscape. Go and find a couple mountains. Oh no, Disfigure in response! No! Akroma. That's okay, we're winning with Niv-Mizzet anyway, right? My opponent's like, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Definitely avoided potential disaster there. Laquatus's champion? Okay, 6/3. Makes your opponent lose 6 life when it enters. That's actually kind of a heck of a beatdown. Take a couple of mountains. Alright, and pray to Lord Mizzet that he doesn't get killed. But if he doesn't, we have Curiosity, which will be cool. And actually, I guess we're like on the edge of milling ourselves to kill our opponent, but it'll be really cool if we get to. Come on. No kill Niv-Mizzet. No kill Niv-Mizzet. They didn't see the Curiosity last game. Okay, we'll take 7. Go to 6. They had this in hand, they actually could just kill us. Oh no, Zombify! No, we were so close! No! Oh. Oh. I guess that's true. Maybe we should have played around. We could have chump blocked. We had the lethal kill almost certainly anyway. Oh no! Oh no, we were so close. Oh, okay. That's sad. No. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Oh, the tragedy. There's so much tragedy over here. It's killing me. I think I do like the switch to red still. Red Elemental Blast is gonna be great. My opponent has only shown us Disfigure as a way to interact with the Chroma, really. Yeah, I think we're gonna run this back here. Oh, that was tragic. It was a cool kill for my opponent. Yeah, I should have played around Zombify probably. I think they showed it to us in the first game even. Yeah, and we could have blocked with Ghost Ship. It just felt like such a bad block in general that I didn't really think much of it. But if we jumped, we would probably have just won that game. I guess if they had had a way to kill Niv Mizzet, that could have ruined our day. If we had blocked and chump blocked, then they'd killed Niv Mizzet, then we were just super dead. But we were kind of dead anyway. Like, the Mystic was going to keep hitting us for 3 over the next couple of turns. Yeah, we should have just chump blocked. Had the kill. And we even had seen the 6... Well, I guess we knew that the Zombify was a possibility. I guess let's put it that way. Alright, would like to play first. Oh no, you have to mulligan this one. I guess we'll keep this. We do have Scry, and then we have Brainstorm, I guess. Although, well, I've mentioned before how poor Brainstorm is if you're don't have a way to shuffle afterwards. Yeah, let's go ahead and keep. Yeah, I'll put that on top. Pretty much good, just take any land there. Oh, that was such a tragedy. Definitely got punished for just relying on a heuristic there, though. Not gonna Brainstorm. Alright. Play a Korhelm Guide, and we'll pass back. Still basically just hoping for any kind of lands. Yasuvan Shapeshifter, if we find one more land, will at least always be tied for the best creature on the battlefield, which is nice. A Disfigure takes care of the Korhelm Guide very neatly. Dusk Legion Zealot. Land. Come on, land. So we Brainstorm looking for a land. Then next turn can still Cortisar and get rid of something from our hand, I guess. We do need to find lands. If we don't have lands in this top, we're just dead. Okay, but we did. So we put... I guess, do we want to have Prism or Island more? I guess maybe Island is an option. I think we want to draw the Prism, though. Let's put Mount or Prism, I guess Island, and then Prism. Play Mountain. And we're not just going to kindle the Dusk Legion Zealot for no good reason. We'll take 1 point of damage here first. And actually, maybe Prism's worth waiting, because we can play the Prism, draw land, and then Cortisar down the road and keep it alive. That might be pretty good. So I think actually we're just going to keep everything from Brainstorm. Ugh, that's a problem. Do we just counter this? I think we do. It is card advantage for my opponent, but we don't have a great way to answer the Shadow Mage Infiltrator. And so that's going to be a lot of card advantage over the course of the game. Okay, we get a draw, they get a draw. We'll kind of make up for the lost card advantage with the Prophetic Prism here. Twisted Image is not bad. And we'll just pass here. We still do have Kindle to deal with a small threat. Ooh, okay, nice. My opponent has to cycle the Ash Barrens. Just looking for a regular old island here. That could mean they have counter magic. We could just cycle Twisted Image. I don't think we actually have to, though. Orf. Yeah, we're just going to kindle that, I think. It could be the 0/6. But yeah, I think we're going to go for it. If it's a 0/6, I guess Twisted Image can kill it later. Okay, Willbender. Nice to get that out of the way. And Fathom Seer. So we can actually play Fathom Seer for 3 and draw a couple of cards, replay a land. Is that better than Cortazar? I guess so. We want this later on, probably for filtering. Right now, just getting raw cards is probably good. For instance, the Cortazar, we might have to like try and keep a land, but the Fathom Seer kind of fixes us with lands for the rest of the game, especially if we draw like that. Alright, we're behind, but we're kind of scraping our way back into this game. My opponent hasn't played any really disastrous flyers yet. Hasn't been able to stick a Mystic of the Hidden Way. Ghost Ship. Okay. Ghost Ship's a problem, certainly. But we can just use the Shapeshifter. Okay, so this turn, we're going to use Cortazar. The next turn, we're going to play Shapeshifter and turn it into a Ghost Ship. So let's add white. And draw our own Ghost Ship. I don't think we want Curiosity right now, although it is a cool kill at some point, maybe. And pass. We would try and like trade with Twisted Image on one of these, but it actually doesn't quite work against the Ghost Ship just because these are so low on power anyway. Brainstorming. Again, I don't think we're ahead here, but we have like struggled our way back to parity, which I like. We could still find a Mizzet, or we could find a Chroma, and that would go a long way towards finishing this game off. My opponent has good draws too, obviously. Mystic of the Hidden Way or Murder of Crows would both be pretty powerful. Hopefully they have no way to shuffle, and those cards are just all bad, though. Right? Right? That's the hope. Zumi Cutthroat. That's kind of a problem. We use the Twisted Image right now. How likely are we to get value out of this? I guess probably pretty likely still. Okay. So we cast Ghost Ship. We could cast the Shapeshifters and flip it up. It's a little bit more mana efficient. If that's going to end up mattering, I guess. Might as well, I guess, swing with both of these. Get in for the small amount of damage that we can. These couple of points here actually could be the difference between a Chroma killing in like 2 turns versus killing in 3 turns. Forest cycling, okay. So this is just a random Zombify target, I'll bet. Oh no, they do have a forest. Crazy. Splashing for green, I wonder for what? I feel like that was just to set up Zombify, but hard to know for sure. And we're going to copy Ghost Ship, and just block my opponents with Ghost Ship. And then we'll swing with our Ghost Ship, and the next turn we'll play another Ghost Ship. Yo, dog, I heard you like Ghost Ships. Oh no, okay. Well, Disfigure's good there, but they ended my entire play. No Murder of Crows. Okay. The Ghost Ship can answer that with Twisted Image. So we play this. And pass. Oh man, that Disfigure was pretty brutal. So we could just take the hit here this turn and then have Ghost Ship up, or Disfigure plus Regenerate next turn. Yeah, I think we've got to go to 8. It's a bad spot to be in for sure. Come on, Niv Mizzet. Red Elemental Blast, that's fantastic. Okay, let's play our Court Hussar. Oh man, I didn't do the triggers correctly again. Oops. Okay, we found Niv Mizzet though, that's pretty good. And we have Red Elemental Blast. Yeah, we didn't need to sacrifice that though. Oh man, and we're gonna let my opponent draw for free. Yeah, that was a full, like, bunch of bad plays in a row. We're gonna kill the Murder of Crows now though, but oops. We gave my opponent kind of a free draw, and could have kept the Court Hussar. Nah, just playing a little bit too fast. Oh wow, they pitched a Mystic? They have a Zombify on that? It seems kind of crazy. Blue Sun Zenith for 4. Very solid. So if my opponent taps out, we're gonna play... I guess next turn we're playing Niv Mizzet, killing the rat with Twisted Image. Yeah, they're down to 13 cards in their deck. We do know that Zombify is one of them. Looks like this might be the play now. Yep. Okay. So we play our own Niv Mizzet. Man, we've definitely gone down on time in these games. And play a Twisted Image on the Ghost Ship to block their kill off my opponent's Cutthroat when the time comes. And then we have an active Niv Mizzet, hopefully. If they have a kill spell, we're still in trouble. Plummet. Well darn. Okay, so let's switch this creature's power and toughness, and so we can kill off the Cutthroat at least. Yeah, I mean, that one extra draw may very well have found them the Plummet. That was pretty costly. Alright, rest in peace, Niv Mizzet. And we'll trade for the Murder of Crows, kind of because we have to trade for the Murder of Crows. I think my opponent's got us this game, though. Especially with the big play here. Oh, man. The champion again. Oh, tragic. So we could have just won easily last game if we had chump blocked more effectively. But both times, the champion burning us out for 6. Darn. So, I mean, it was maybe a slight mistake, but it was definitely a mistake. And it cost us the match, so feels a little bit bad. But we still have a pretty sweet deck. I still like to get a Curiosity kill one of these times, so hold on, and I'll see you guys for our third and final match. Welcome back for our third and final match. We won the dice roll, and I think this is a keep. It's not great. It's got 2 blue and counterspell. If we find any land, we can play the Zealot and then white main. Well, I guess we need to find plains for white main line. This maybe should have met a mulligan. Niv Mizzet's close to not a card, too. Yeah, the more I look at it, that was maybe a a little bit fast on the snap keep. But a land off the top could save us. Yep. Alright, it's now no longer bad. Let's pass back. We'll counterspell anything that's, like, reasonably annoying. That count as reasonably? I guess so. See, like, I don't know, maybe that wasn't a good counterspell there. Because it's funny, if we had played, or if that had been the Arcane Denial in hand, I'm sure we would not have countered it, and I'd just been like, nah, not worth it. But because it was a solid 1-for-1, it's like, yeah, we're not missing out. On the other hand, this is one of the few real answers we have in the deck, so maybe that's just crazy. Okay, so the Moors. Bad against Niv Mizzet if we ever get there. Okay, so we should swing with our Moor first, because we'd love it if they blocked. Well, would we love it? Do we want to flip the Serum? Play Ghost Ship. I think we swing. And I think if they do block, Will we flip? I think we do. Probably won't block though. Yeah. We had to play the ghost ship there first though because we couldn't afford to flip otherwise. Okay, opponent island cycling for Shoreline Ranger. Man, this looks like this is just a Chroma's playground. Every single match we've been playing against a blue opponent, and 2 of those games it was a blue-white opponent. Okay. Curiosity on the ghost ship's kind of sweet, although I am tempted to just hold it for Niv Mizzet. I think let's swing with our morph, flip it up, replay lands, draw a bunch of cards. I think I'm going to try and hold Curiosity for Niv Mizzet. Putting on the ghost ship seems fine, but not with like fantastic rewards. And my opponent may still just have like a bounce spell or removal spell that we don't know about. Alright, so let's get in for a couple points here. Okay. And let's tap both islands, turn this up, return 2 islands, replay an island, see what's up. Okay, so we've got 5 mana total to work with. I think I actually want to play a morph so we can keep up a white main lion if my opponent tries to like kill a ghost ship or something. So in that case, I guess Mystic of the Hidden Way is better than the Zealot, is the way this board is looking out so far. Obviously, that's another pretty good hit with Curiosity. We have drawn exceptionally well. Okay, opponent island cycles again. They're struggling a little bit. But this was a, like, very questionable keep, and we just turned into a pretty good hand. Okay, Murder of Crows is dangerous, for sure. We want to cast the Lion and, like, bounce Fathom Seer. I guess that seems alright. We're not getting any, like, major value out of this, but it is mana efficient, and we're tight on mana, so... Okay. So this turn we've got 4 available. We can't keep up the regenerate for the ghost ship. I think we're just going to play Curiosity, though, and flip the Mystic of the Hidden Ways. We'll take 4, but we hit my opponent for a reasonable amount here. And get to draw a card. Still do just have problems against lots of flyers, though. Arcane Denial is not a bad draw. So next turn they can swing with Murder of Crows. That potentially opens the way for White Mane Lion, though. Yeah, we are definitely not blocking. And hopefully there's not like a Path of Peace or something. Okay, Shoreline Ranger. Alright, so we swing with our Mystic first. We are losing the race, for sure, for sure. Yes, use the ability. I guess let's play like Dauntless Cathar, keep up Arcane Denial. We are only 1 red source away from Niv Mizzet, but there's only, I think, 2 more in the whole deck. Well, 3, I guess. We've got Myriad Landscape, Mountain, and Prophetic Prism. Opponent can swing for 7 here, although I guess actually Ghost Ship still blocks not badly. Sift. We counter that? No. I think we just wait for a more opportune thing to get rid of. As a general rule of thumb, you're better off to get rid of the actual important spell that comes after a counter or a draw spell than the draw spell itself. I think we're going to stick to that this time. Opponent pitches God's Willing. Not unreasonable. Yeah, we're just taking it. Thalia. Do we care about Thalia? Not much. It means that Arcane Denial gets more expensive. Yeah, I don't think we really care. Alright, so Twisted Image means not too much right now. Let's go ahead and swing with our Mystic, as we often do. We could swing with the Cathar, play Twisted Image, and offer like a trade. They just block with Thalia though, yeah. I don't think that's that exciting. Draw a card. Yes, we would like to use the ability. Okay, Cortisar is pretty good. Blanks Thalia well. Maybe helps us find another red source. Let's draw some cards. Myriad Landscape or Brainstorm. Do we have enough time to try and find the landscape? That means we play it this turn, next turn we crack it, the turn after we can play Niv Mizzet, so in 2 turns. It might be too slow, especially because we kind of want to play another island here, so we can what? Maybe we don't. There's also just Brainstorm though, which digs us a little bit deeper. I think we're going to take the landscape and try and play the Niv Mizzet strategy. We'll play the landscape. Next turn we'll plan on cracking it. We still have Denial up. Okay. One's still coming in just with... Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Although Shoreline Ranger... doesn't actually do anything. They have a trick, we can still Arcane Denial it. Yeah, I mean, we're blocking. They had a trick, I feel like they would have used it for the Geist, too. Okay, Morph. We care about the Morph? I don't think so. Probably not important. I guess Mystic's maybe just killing before Niv Mizzet anyway, so we should have just taken, like, Brainstorm. It's funny. We both played a lot of cards, we still both have 7 card hands. Ooh, Shoreline Ranger was great. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can keep up Twisted Image, but that's it. This will let, like, Shoreline Ranger plus Twisted Image does kill Murder of Crows. Oh, we should have swung first. If we find red, that'll be kind of embarrassing because we'd rather have played Niv Mizzet, but ooh, do they have an answer finally? Refraction Helix. Okay. So yeah, we actually, if we hadn't played the Shoreline Ranger first, they may have gone for the Ghost Ship. Yeah, slight misplays perhaps. We don't have Counter Magic up for the first time in quite a while. We do still have Twisted Image. I think we just double block here. Give my opponent the opportunity to kill off one or the other. God's Willing. Protection from the color of our choice. Okay. Pretty good. They're just going to choose to kill off the Ghost Ship here, it looks like. I'm not going to use Twisted Image. God's Willing did wreck us there a little bit. I didn't even think about it after the first one hit the bin, but... yeah, playing that Shoreline Ranger early may have been a cost for sure. Nyx Fleeced Ram. Just to gain a little bit of life, I suppose. We just want to kill that? Not really, because we need to be able to block the crows. Next turn they're swinging for 7. Although, do we even want to trade with the crows? I mean, that's not even the way that we win. Alright. Oh, it costs 2 more, because of Thalia. We couldn't play it anyway all along. Fair enough. We play Court Hussar. Play the Mystic, keep up Arcane Denial. We did not play the Plains. I just always take this card for granted, but... okay, Shapeshifter, not bad, actually. My opponent will think it's the Mystic as well. Yeah, that actually was kind of costly, though, because we're low on life, and my opponent just gets to draw an extra card here. That's a couple of times we've been burned for that. If one's going to gain a life... cycling the Noble Templar. Interesting. I guess they just have so many things that they're happy to play that they don't need that last one? Seems a little bit aggressive. A Court Hussar of their own. They were smart and remembered to pay white for it. So if they swing in with everything, we're going to block like that and like that. No, like that, I guess. Try and snipe a bunch of stuff. That would be a little bit scary if I was my opponent, but I could see an argument for just going for it too. Okay, if they just swing at the Murder of Crows, we'll just trade. Hopefully not their God's willing. Okay, we each get a draw and discard. So we would like to do that. I think Fathom Seer is getting closer and closer, just being a card that doesn't do anything. Maybe Twisted Image just hasn't been that impressive either. Zealot's kind of nice. We want to be able to play Mystic for sure. I think we want Arcane Denial. I think Fathom Seer just is the odd man out then. Even though it is pretty good with Niv Visit. It's been a close, like, fun back and forth game. I think we've got a good odds going forward with the Chroma though. Still can't believe we lost our last match. Should have won. Could have gone infinite with Niv Visit. Missed opportunity. Okay, Morph. So we play our Mystic, we play our Zealot, we have Twisted Image, we wait. Yeah, having that last Court Hussar in play may have been significant too, but it is hard to know. So we're countering kind of any flyer here probably. Any removal spell. I think taking the Myriad Landscape before was incorrect. Yeah, so we just gotta counter that. That would be giving up too much damage. Ooh, I found black. For the splashed Pillory. Oh no. Alright, I think we lose from this point. We're going down to 2. I guess Niv Mizzet plus Twisted Image could do it. We're going down to 1. No, because we can't kill the Shoreline Ranger, I don't think, really. It was a close, long game. I think that there's probably were lines here that would have won it for us. We have to get rid of our own Shoreline Ranger, though, is the problem. I just don't think we really have a way to do that. Guess let's swing with the lot. We can flip the Zealot up and kill my opponent's Geist, probably. So we could play Twisted Image, kill that. Swing with everything. Opponent goes like block. Maybe let's Twisted Image, kill it right now, and see what happens. We find another removal spell, of which we do not have like any, really, right? Resonator. No, I guess let's cast this face down, return a couple islands. The laundry list of things we have to fix before next turn is getting longer and longer here, though. Yeah, okay. I think that is enough. Alright, GG. I want to concede here, because, again, we've taken forever, basically, in all of these games. And we don't want to go to time here. Okay, yeah, I mean, we're still taking white out and putting in red. Going for that sweet chroma kill, as we have every sideboard option we can, actually, which is kind of funny. Play a chroma, play Kindle, play red elemental blast. Have to bring in a couple of guides. And the... oh wait, not blue elemental blast. What's our last card we care about? We've been bringing in Assembly Worker? No, Primal Claim. That's right. Not that I love that card either, but... okay, and then add in 3 mountains, 1 blue source. Alright, Akroma, you gotta do this for me. Best sideboard card ever. Alright, would like to play first, and we're gonna do it in a snappy and quick sort of way. I think we gotta mulligan this, unfortunately. Tough to start off that way. This hand is pretty okay, though. Go ahead and keep. And Curiosity, I think we're gonna put that on the bottom. I don't think with Fathom Seer that's going to be fantastic. Okay, and I think that we're going to slow roll here and play the Fathom Seer turn 3. We actually don't have the islands to flip it up right now. Opponent doesn't have any play either. Well, now, because we have 2 brainstorms, I kind of wish we'd brainstormed, but... hard to know that beforehand. Opponent maybe debating countering that there. They did pause for a moment. No play. Okay. So I think we might be brainstorming at this point, trying to find a land. Ideally an island. Cool. We did find an island. Don't much care for the resonator or the mountain here. Although I guess mountain eventually is good for a chroma. So I guess I really just don't like the resonator. We're going to put that on the bottom and then the mountain on top of that. Put an island into play. Cast our shapeshifter face down. And swing with the Fathom Seer. Choking Tethers. Okay, just tapping down one of our morphs. That is alright with me. Don't think we're returning the islands right now. I think the tempo loss is just too high. Next turn, though, we'll play Ghost Ship. We'll have a mountain. And then Chroma's actually not far away at that point. The Resonator doesn't look like it's going to do too much this game, though. I guess having it in play when we flip up Fathom Seer is pretty good. Problem is, I feel like that's just going to be a little ways down the line here. Since we really want to hit land drops up to 6, and we're not even like missing a land drop for a couple of turns anyway. Alright, let's swing with both here. Morph beatdown incoming at my opponent. Play Ghost Ship. Next turn we're drawing the Resonator. Means we actually maybe brainstorm on upkeep. Does that matter? I guess not really. Well, it means that we wouldn't have it in hand. Yeah, I guess we're brainstorming on upkeep. Path of Beasts on the Ghost Ship. Reasonable. Brainstorm ourselves. And we're going to put Resonator and Arcane Denial on top, but we're just going to draw the Denial. And then we're going to play Island, Morph a Chroma, and then keep up Arcane Denial. And I think we're probably winning at this point. Because then a Chroma gets to morph up next turn, and that should be more or less insurmountable for my opponent. Looks like they had a really kind of dirtily hand as it was. Will Arcane Denial anything that kills this morph in specific, but probably not anything else. This is an awfully intimidating board state for my opponent, too. Morphs are often scarier than they look like they're going to be. Like, you look at these morphs and it's like, man, these could all be Achromas, when in fact only one is actually an Achroma. So this has protection from white and blue, so we just don't care about the Ghost Ship at all. It's a good card. Not great against Achroma, though. Let's turn this card face up. And go on the beatdown. My opponent's got to have an answer next turn or they're dead. Yeah, we drew out of the mulligan quite well. Unless they've got like Wrath of God here, which admittedly Wrath of God would ruin our day pretty badly. But outside of that, I think Achroma probably just won us another match, or another game. Match would be getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. Okay, yeah, opponent concedes. Woo! Okay, so 1-1, and perhaps more importantly, well, losing there would be a big deal, but it was really nice to have our clock still as high as it is, too. As you guys know me, I take forever with my turns. I don't think anything's changing. Okay, I think this hand is keepable. We have our potential win condition. We have a 2-drop and Kindle. Seems reasonable. We do need to find one more red source for Achroma to be able to go off. Primal Clay, kind of unexciting. We'll play a Coral Helm Guide. Looks like a morph. Sounds like a morph. Probably is a morph. So I actually kind of like Kindling and Curiosity. That would encourage my opponent to use a removal spell that we'd rather them not use on Achroma. So I guess let's Kindle first, make sure this is actually going to work, and it's not like a Fathom. Well, I guess Fathom Seer couldn't morph up here either, but let's kill whatever this is. Oh, it's a Dragon's Eye Savants. Okay, well that's kind of ruins our day. That's true, that could have been a Savants. But, I mean, at least I guess we know that Curiosity ain't gonna do it then. Oh, it does know we have a Chroma, though. Yeah, Savant's got us pretty good there. And the game really does just become me trying to maneuver a Chroma into my opponent now. Not gonna swing, no point. No random discard, Ghost Ship. Okay, Ghost Ship's a good one, certainly. We are going to cast Primal Clay, and we're actually going to make it a flyer here, because my opponent knows we have the Curiosity, and that might keep their Ghost Ship from swinging in. Not a creature, yes, a flyer. And next turn, too, we can always use the Coral Helm Guide to start forcing Curiosity hits through. It probably means they have like a Murder of Crows follow-up or something here. Darn, that's bad for us. Okay, Shoreline Ranger is good. I guess we're morphing a Chroma and passing, and then we'll play Shoreline Ranger next turn. Island Cycling won't find us our red source, unfortunately. So we can take up to 6 points here. Yeah, certainly can't block. My opponent may just be incentivized to go aggressive too, because if they don't have an answer for a Chroma, they don't have an answer for a Chroma. They do have black now, or I guess I think they had black in the first game too. So it's possible they're splashing for like a removal spell. Okay. Helix, just gonna bounce the morph. It is indeed a Chroma. Yeah, that's fine. Just buying as much time as they can. They don't know we don't have another island. Or another mountain. Okay, Red Elemental Blast was fantastic. I think we're going to cast Curiosity. If they had a removal spell, they would have just killed a Chroma. And we're going to just blow up the Murder of Crows. Almost certainly here. Red Elemental Blast was one of the best draws we could have had, I think. Draw a card. Yes, we would like to use the ability. Basically always. And we'll cast a Chroma. Do we want a Red Elemental Blast right now? We might play around Counter Magic. They also could draw another one of the white protection from a color. Okay, they do have God's Willing. Okay. I guess maybe waiting might have been better. Yeah, we're in a kind of desperate race to hit another red source. One definitely going to take us down to 6. We have Shoreline Ranger. If they don't have another flyer, Primal Clay will draw us another card. Okay, they did have another flyer. As it stands right now, things are looking grim. Let's cast our Shoreline Ranger. Pass. We're in chump mode, unless they just have like Path of Peace. Sift. I'm not completely sure even a Chroma will do it at this point. Well, I guess we double block this next turn. They obviously swing with everything. Yeah. We go down to 6. We go like block, kill off that, go to 1. My opponent kills one of the flyers. We potentially have one more. Although that Primal Clay is chumping. A Chroma, if we find red, can kill, though. Alternatively, we can chump block, go down to 1. A Chroma flips up. We get in with Primal Clay. We draw a card. Shapeshifter would be good in that case. Niv Mizzet would also be good. I think we have to trade the Shoreline Raven for the Murder of Crows. Although I guess that still gives us the option for Primal Clay. Alright. We go to 1 here. One is choosing to kill Shoreline Raven or Ranger, which I think is fine and correct. Okay. Opponent gets to draw and discard. He did give us 1 more draw of Primal Clay, although we're at 1 point of life, so I'm not sure there's a ton that will end up mattering. Another morph. Okay. Okay, Prophetic Prism is enough to flip a Chroma, so then we're not dead, right? So we play Prism, we have exactly enough mana. But we die through, like, if the wind blows too hard, the game just ends. Okay, we do have a Chroma, though. And right now, the Coral Helm Guide can block the morph. This is super tenuous, but we did not die. Prophetic Prism may be one of our better draws there. So they can trade, I guess, Shoreline Ranger for Primal Clay if they swing. But again, pretty much anything, and the game's just over. Any interaction on our side, Fathom Seer, means that's going to be able to kill the Coral Helm Guide when it swings too. Still looking pretty grim. Oh man, cycling. Oh, what a run. Alright. GG. Darn. I feel like this deck was super cool for us to go 1-2. I didn't play it incredibly well, though. I'm sure you guys, just looking as I played through the matches, saw a number of errors even beyond the ones that I pointed out. Chroma did really good work. It was a great sideboard card. Really kept us in it against... like, really was kind of a tiebreaker against some even decks. Dim Visit was cool, killed the one time. We really should have... I'm super sad. I'll remember the fact that we didn't chump block with the Ghost Ship for a while, because going off with Curiosity and Dim Visit would have been super sweet. That having all been said, I think that the draft was fun. There were a lot of interesting decisions kind of throughout. Hopefully it was still entertaining for you guys to watch, even though the end result was, not the record you're hoping for. The deck was sweet though, Dim Visit was cool, Chroma was definitely cool. Thanks everyone so much for watching.